Hi there guys, I hope you have had a good day. Now, Shannon Courtenay has spoken out for the first time in an interview with IFL about her loss to Rachel Ball at Fight Camp. Now, this obviously was her first defeat and she is extremely inexperienced. So this, I think, will teach her a lot more than if she had won the fight. I know that sounds crazy, especially at this point, but ultimately, it wasn't one of those losses that was really bad. It wasn't like she got really beaten up. She did get dropped, but she got up and continued the fight and came on strong in the later rounds. So there's a lot to take from this defeat to Rachel Ball, and she can go forward and seek out a rematch. I mean, if they fought again, no one's going to say that she doesn't deserve the rematch. No one's going to say that, oh, she lost definitively in the first one, and therefore this doesn't warrant a rematch. No, we're not going to say that. It was a good fight and we would all happily see it again. So it would be great to see Shannon Courtenay back in the ring because she does always bring entertainment. She does like to walk forward and trade up with her opponent. And that's what she got caught doing against Rachel Ball. You can see Rachel Ball was clearly looking for that shot to walk Shannon Courtenay onto it because Shannon Courtenay hurt her early and tried to step on it, rushed in too quickly, squared up, and that punch landed. But you could see Rachel Ball was looking for that shot a couple of times before it even landed, and it's just things like that that need to be adjusted from Shannon Courtenay to not get caught with those punches, because she was warned. She blocked a few of them, but then one of them got through. So the important thing is be careful and make sure those shots do not slip through the guard. And Shannon Courtenay did acknowledge in the interview, which I will leave a link for in the description, but she did acknowledge in that interview that she did get Rachel Ball hurt. She saw it and tried to step on it and get rid of her in that first round, which you can do at a lower level. You can get rid of your opponent who's maybe quite durable, but not so much, and doesn't really throw anything back, especially when they are hurt. Whereas Rachel Ball didn't really just shell up, go back to the ropes and wait for the referee to stop the fight. She was there to win. She'd only lost one fight previously in her career. She had a winning record and is a very good fighter, very awkward as well. So Shannon Courtenay was in there with an opponent who was more experienced than her, and the inexperience of Shannon Courtenay, especially in the first round, showed. But from then on, did you see how she learned from that mistake? Because she did not get caught like that again. Otherwise, if she didn't learn, she would have got caught. She may have even been stopped. So in my opinion, what this fight showed us from Shannon Courtenay is that she can get caught, she can get dropped, and she can learn very quickly inside the ring. That shows resilience, and not every fighter has that. And Shannon Courtenay is someone who likes to get stuck in, as I said previously. She does like to fight, and that is why she is so entertaining. She does punch very hard as well. Even Rachel Ball said that after the fight. So Shannon Courtenay punches hard, and she doesn't just throw one punch at a time. She comes forward with punches in bunches. She does move well as well. So she does have a bright future if she continues down this path, being resilient, picking things up in the fight. Because normally after something like that happens, where a fighter gets knocked down, they usually start to maybe go back, maybe be a bit tentative about throwing their own punches, and then it is a one-sided loss. But that's not what happened in this fight. She learned as she went through the fight. And that is a very good quality to have in boxing. And I have no doubts that that will serve her well going forward in her boxing career. But what is important for Shannon Courtenay right now is to get back in there maybe this year, get back in the boxing ring, not against Rachel Ball straight away. I mean, she could do, but I just don't think it's a good idea straight away. So maybe have an interim bout, then try and head for the rematch, because we would all want to see it. It wasn't like it was a wide loss from Shannon Courtenay. It was very close. Many believe she even won the fight. So there was that controversy. So the fight will sell. And I know that's not something you really want to look at coming off a loss, because the loss is devastating, but it's not the end of the world. A loss is something that can be learnt from or dwelled upon. So if Shannon Courtenay learns from it, then the loss will not mean anything other than one lesson that she needed to learn in that first round, not to rush in, because it was very close on the scorecard. Maybe it came down to just that first round. That was maybe why the ref gave it to Rachel Ball. And next time that happens, when she gets an opponent hurt, she knows she needs to offer her opponent angles, keep that jab out as well, and not close that space too quickly so that her feet come square, because that is very dangerous. lucky she can take a punch because that punch landed perfectly and her feet come square. In boxing, it's either a wide margin or a small margin. There's either big things that need to change or just small adjustments. In this case, I think it is small adjustments. I think that mainly keep the jab out there. Don't rush in too quickly. Make sure the feet don't come square. Also, give your opponent the respect they deserve when they are hurt, especially at this level, because Rachel Ball was a step up for Shannon Courtenay. The opponents she faced previously, yeah, maybe they wouldn't have knocked her down in that first round, but this is a different level, and I think that Shannon Courtenay rose to it quite well. She adjusted well in the fight, and even after the knockdown, still came back on strong in the later rounds. So you could make a case for Shannon Courtenay winning the fight, but as I said before, there are lessons to be learned, minor adjustments, and she definitely can win the rematch. But that being said, Rachel Ball went in there, took the risk, and raised her stock incredibly, and now would be the A-side in a rematch with Shannon Courtenay because she won the first fight. So Rachel Ball took that opportunity. She took a risk, but it ultimately paid off. Shannon Courtenay also took a risk in fighting Rachel Ball. It did not pay off in the ring, but her stock has still risen from that fight, from taking the fight, from getting knocked down and getting back up, and being humble in defeat, coming back and saying that she's going to get back in the boxing ring, getting back to training already, and get back in the ring, hopefully this year. Then maybe push for a rematch with Rachel Ball next year, because I am sure that Matchroom and Sky Sports Boxing will want to rerun this fight, because it was a very good fight, very entertaining, very back and forth, and they both had moments in this fight. That's why it was so close. So Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing, Sky Sports are going to be very interested in a rematch between Shannon Courtenay and Rachel Ball. It's not the best thing for Shannon Courtenay next, but it will be next year. A huge rematch. So guys, anyway, what are your thoughts on this? I will leave a link to the interview with IFL and Shannon Courtenay in the description below, so you can go and have a look at it yourselves. So anyway, guys, what are your thoughts on this? Who do you believe won that fight? And are you interested in a rematch between Shannon Courtenay and Rachel Ball? Maybe Shannon Courtenay could use an interim bout first. She won't want to do that. She'll want to get straight back in there with Rachel Ball because she's a fighter. But maybe an interim bout, then a rematch with Rachel Ball, which would be a huge fight. So guys, anyway, drop your thoughts in the comments below. Leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks, guys.